Hello. I'm going to show a simple tutorial of how to move a robot in SpaceTeams Pro. So first, I open up your JSON simulation configuration file, and we'll put in a new system. I've set one up, if you'd like to see, in reference simulation.json called move robot. And so what you have to do here is go to your systems, and if you'd like to make a new system, you can copy and paste this one and make a new Python file. But I'll explain. It's named move robot. It's accessing this Python file move robot.py. I set active to true, types Python, and the parameters I'd like to pass in to my system are my excavator entity and the Mars reference frame. Okay. And if you'd like to replace this with a different entity, you can just change the name here and then change the string here. And this name here will be whatever the name tag is for your entity. So for example, if I search excavator entity, it's the one listed under this name field here. All right. And also make sure on your entity that you have that system included. So for example, I named that system move robot. So I've added it here to the systems field. Okay. Next, go into your Python file here. You can see on the right, and you'll have to set up everything here to import the necessary files. And then you'll set up these lines of code here to bring in your data. So similar to what we had earlier, we imported these parameters, the excavator and Mars frame parameters. So here, I'm setting that up here where I can use them as variables within my Python code. So excavator sc.entity this.get param, Mars sc.entity this.get param. Okay. And you can look at the Python API for SpaceTeams in order to get this set up, to look up the syntax for everything. And I put comments in this code if you'd like to look at how to initialize velocities. So for this, I'm just creating this NumPy array called velocity with 3 different variables that will get the robot moving. And then to actually use functions, for example, if you'd like to get where your robot currently is, I've created this variable called robot pause. Then I did excavator, which I defined here, dot get location, and then which frame I'm in. So here I'm getting the location of the excavator on Mars. And next, let's go ahead and write a loop to control the robot velocity over time. So I'll write a comment here, system loop to control robot velocity. And let's make this a while loop so it runs throughout the whole simulation. So while true, tab. If I'd like to have the robot stop after 10 seconds, so I'm going to say if counter is less than 11 seconds, I'll keep my velocity the same. So excavator dot set velocity. I'll set it to my velocity here, the vel variable within the Mars frame. Right? And then here I'll add a comment, stop moving after 10 seconds. And then I'll do else for my if else statement. So this will be after the 10 seconds, I'll zero out my velocity. So I'll go ahead and copy this and set it to a new velocity. And let's make sure we have our indentation correct for Python. All right. So I'll set all these, the X variable to 0, the Z variable to 0. So this will zero out my velocities. So this is the variable I've updated, but now I'll actually have to update my robot. So let's go do that. So I'll say robot position, robot pause. Let's make sure I have the latest position. So I'll say dot get location in the Mars frame. So now I've saved that location. And let's do another excavator dot set velocity. So let's copy and paste that. So I'll command it to the new velocity that we've set here. And then last, let's do an excavator dot set location. And let's make sure it is in the right position. So we'll set it back to the last known position when we ordered it to stop moving. And last, let's do counter equals counter plus 1 so that our logic will work where things are happening. And last, to make sure it's in seconds, let's do time dot sleep 1. So this is a function that will only make our counter increment every second. All right, so let's save this and go into Space Teams Professional. Go to our simulation. Make sure you have reference simulation.json selected and launch that. So when this starts up, if we go into our sim, look to the right, our robot should move and it should stop after 10 seconds. So let's see that. Okay, and that's it. So that's the basic how to use the Python API in Space Teams Pro to control a robot. Thank you.